The money came. The feeling of being broke never left. This is not something people talk about because it does not fit the narrative. The narrative is that you work hard, you make it out, and on the other side is relief. Security. The end of the particular anxiety that comes with not having enough. The version of life where the financial part stops being the hardest part. The narrative is not wrong exactly. Things do get better. The material reality changes. But something else persists, something lodged deeper than the bank account, something that the bank account alone cannot reach. And for a lot of people who grew up without money and built it later, the discovery of that thing is one of the most disorienting experiences of their adult lives. Start with what it was like. Not the worst version of it, necessarily. Not the dramatic version. Just the ordinary daily texture of growing up in a house where money was tight. The conversations that stopped when you walked in. The specific quality of the silence that preceded a decision about whether something could be afforded. The way certain words, dentist, trip, new, both carried a weight they probably did not carry in other houses. The understanding, absorbed before you had language for it, that the family's equilibrium was fragile. That the wrong thing, a car repair, a medical bill, a job that went wrong, could shift everything. You learned to read the financial weather. To know when it was a good time to ask for something and when it wasn't. To calibrate your needs against the capacity of the household. To want less or to want quietly or to not let wanting show. This was not a lesson anyone sat you down to teach. It was acquired the way children acquire most of the important things. Through observation, through implication, through the slow accumulation of small signals into a pattern. By the time you were an adult, the pattern was structural. It was not a set of beliefs you held consciously. It was a set of reflexes. A nervous system that had been trained by years of scarcity to treat financial uncertainty as the default state. Then the income changed. Maybe gradually, a career that grew, a series of better jobs, compound progress over years. Maybe more suddenly, a windfall, a business that worked, a salary that jumped dramatically. Either way, there was a before and an after. And in the after, the material facts were different. The bills were paid. The margin existed. The catastrophic scenario, the one that had always been in the background, the one your nervous system had been quietly preparing for, became genuinely unlikely. And the nervous system did not notice. That is the part that surprises people. The nervous system that was trained on scarcity does not automatically update when the scarcity ends. Keeps running the old software. Keeps scanning for the threat that is no longer there. It keeps treating every financial decision as if it carries the weight it carried when there was almost nothing, even when there is now more than enough. You have money. You cannot spend it without guilt. You have savings. You cannot look at them without calculating how long they would last if everything went wrong. You have security. You cannot feel it. Psychologists call this scarcity mindset, and the research on it is striking. When people are in genuine scarcity, not enough food, not enough money, not enough time, their mental bandwidth narrows. The brain tunnels on the immediate problem. Everything else recedes. This is adaptive in the short term. It focuses resources where they are needed most. But the tunnel has a cost. Long-term thinking suffers. Decision quality drops in domains outside the immediate scarcity. The capacity for the kind of planning and patience that builds wealth is diminished by the experience of not having enough. And when the scarcity ends, the tunnel does not automatically open. The neural pathways that were built in conditions of scarcity do not dissolve because the conditions improved. They stay. They become the lens through which you process financial information even when the information is good. This is why people who grew up poor often find it difficult to spend money freely even after they can afford to. And equally, sometimes why some go the other direction, spending compulsively in a way that recreates the very condition they escaped, because the spending feels like the proof that things have changed. I am not poor anymore. Look, I can do this. Both responses are the scarcity mindset. One hoards, one purges. Neither is actually present with what is now true. There is a specific kind of loneliness in this. You made it out. That is what they call it, made it out, as if success is an extraction, a departure, a leaving behind. And in some ways it is. The life you are living is not the life you grew up in. The concerns are different. The options are different. The conversations at the dinner table, if you are having dinner with people in your new world, are different. But you carry the old world with you, inside you at the level that is older than thought. The scarcity is gone from the environment and still present in the body. And there is nobody to explain this to, because the people from the old world cannot fully understand the new one, and the people in the new world cannot fully understand where you came from. You are supposed to feel grateful. You do feel grateful, and the gratitude is entirely real. But it sits alongside something else that is also real. A grief for the version of yourself who had to learn to need less. An anger that took so long to get here. A suspicion that it could still be taken away, because it was so hard to get in the first place. The money stuff shows up in specific ways. There is the inability to spend on yourself. Not on others, not on necessary things, but on yourself, on comfort, on pleasure that has no justification beyond the fact that you wanted it. This feels like virtue. It is not virtue. It is the old training. Your needs came last or did not come at all, and that arrangement feels so familiar it has been mistaken for a value. There is the checking, the constant monitoring of accounts, not out of irresponsibility but out of vigilance. The vigilance that made sense when the margin was thin and makes less sense now, but continues because the nervous system is still on watch. There is the difficulty receiving. If someone offers to pay, something tightens. If someone gives you something, there is an immediate calculation of what you owe. The scarcity years taught that nothing comes without cost, and even in abundance, every gift feels like a debt. And there is the thing that is hardest to name, the sense that you do not quite belong here, that the security you have built is performed rather than felt, that the real version of you is the one who grew up without it, and this version, the one with the savings account and the retirement fund and the options, is something you are wearing rather than something you are. What changes this is not more money. More money helps, to a point. It removes genuine risk and provides genuine options. But beyond a certain threshold, the issue is not material. It is psychological. And the psychological work is different from the financial work. It involves, at its core, updating the story you absorbed about who you are, what you are owed, what is safe, what is possible. That story was written by circumstances you did not choose. It was adaptive in those circumstances. It does not need to be the permanent truth. This is not easy. It is not a reframe you can perform once and be done with. It is a practice of noticing the old reflex when it fires, naming it, and then making a decision that is based on what is actually true now rather than what was true then. You check the account not because you need to but because the nervous system is running its old loop. You notice. You close the app. You hesitate to spend on something that would genuinely improve your life. You notice. You ask whether the hesitation is wisdom or whether it is the old rule, the one that said your needs come last, running on outdated information. You feel the low-grade sense that this could all be taken away. You notice. You look at what is actually in front of you. The account, the savings, the security that you built with the very discipline that the scarcity installed. The discipline was real. The skill is real. What you built is real. The feeling will catch up. Slowly, not all at once, but slowly if you let the evidence accumulate, if you allow yourself to be somewhere other than the house you grew up in, the feeling will catch up. You made it out. That is true. You also brought yourself with you. That is also true. Both of those things can be true at the same time. The work is learning to live inside both, to honor where you came from without being trapped there, to inhabit the security you built without waiting for the other shoe to drop. The money changed. The feeling is still catching up. That is not a failure. That is just how long it takes.